You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowing like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look up better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the 9th part of What If Naruto Meets Flash? Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of pyrohelixdrago on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. With Kushina. You look like SHT, Naruto said as he was in his mother's office and she looked incredibly pale and had bags under her eyes. I'm F-, Kushina was weakly saying to him. No you're not. Now you're gonna cut the bullshit and tell me what the F is going on. Naruto said as she looked to be one step in the grave. Chaos magic, Kushina said to him, it's here and I've been on alert, she said in exhaustion. And it's making you like this? Naruto asked her. Mostly lack of sleep and I fought the chaos wielder, his name is Clarion Bleak aka the witch boy, Kushina said to him. Enough of this, no more. You are not doing this alone anymore, you hear me? Naruto said to her seriously and they hugged. I'll come back later, Minato thought as it wasn't just the fact that Kushina would probably maim him. You have connections to magic users, use them. I'm not going to watch you drive yourself into the ground anymore. Naruto said to her seriously. Alright. Kushina said as she thought to an Egyptian Ankh symbol. 1 hour later. We get any faster? Barry asked him curiously as they discover another change from their trip to Earth 1, the speed lab. Well, I just hit 3,500 mph and you are a bit shy of 3,000 miles per hour, Naruto said as the closure and doubts they had were now settled. DMN. Barry said in excitement. Yeah, you're double your speed compared to your other self, Naruto said with a smirk. Meaning we still have some work to catch up with Zoom's 6,000. Barry said as they were only half Zoom's speed. With the others the DRGS and the other SHT we might be in the clear, Naruto said as the speed dampening DRGS could really affect Zoom's body to such a degree as he might have been DRG resistant. Element of surprise, the key to any battle. Barry said as that was another of Naruto's lessons. Yep, we just need to get him off guard, and that's all it'll take. Naruto said as one moment was all a person needed. Can you absorb his speed? Barry asked curiously. A little at a time, not all at once. Naruto said to him, his speed is the way it is as a result of DRGS. It might be a bad idea to take too much speed force energy from him. Whatever, let's get ready, Caitlin's in place as are the others. This guy won't know what hit him. Barry said with a smirk. Bet he won't expect 2 Dr. Lights. Naruto said to him as they didn't tell Jay, also I changed the locks, he said as he wasn't letting Iris back in here. We watch Jay, if he's gone and Zoom shows up that could be the key to figuring him out. Barry said as there were 2 Zooms and if Jay left the one from Earth may 2nd as well have been the original. Or we catch Zoom off guard with some questions. I'll read his eyes, and see if there's any reaction. One way or the other we're figuring this Jay Garrick out. Naruto said as he hated referring to a person when there were 2 of said person. Like what we say his actual name, Hunter Zolomon? Barry asked. No we can't do that may make him act rashly, Naruto said to him as an enemy back into a corner. Well I can't keep pretending Jay is a friend, something about him keeps putting me on my guard. Barry said to him. Trust your instincts but don't act on impulse, Naruto said to him. It's the way he talks about Zoom, it's like he's both trying to scare someone and at the same time it feels like an ego talk to me. Barry said as knowing something about a person who thinks others didn't know was annoying. Yeah I know now you know what it feels like being the smartest person in the room, Naruto said to him. Yeah but our asses are stuck with him anyway. Barry said, how do we tell the others, he asked curiously. Still time travel rules, we can't tell them without adverse effects to the time stream, Naruto said to him. What was the point of going to Earth 1 if all it did was just give us nothing? Barry asked. Information is information, we still learned who Zoom was and we can manipulate that, Naruto said to him. Yeah, but how? With all this time CRP, it's like the littlest CRP will go bad to me. Barry said to him. Don't forget we know and haven't F up yet, the longer we wait the less of an impact, and also like I said we can manipulate this to our advantage, Naruto said to him. How? Barry asked curiously. Like get more and more information and take everything from that jackass, Naruto said as Zoom, Hunter, Jay was ego-driven to prove his intelligence. Whatever you say. Let's just hope we can do this. I'm a little afraid the other me told me when he fought Zoom the first time, he broke his back. Barry said to him. That's not gonna happen. I won't let it. Naruto said as he intended not to let that happen cause that sounded brutal. The stage is set, let's go. Barry said as he wanted to get back to training. Few hours later. The hell happened to you both? Caitlin said as Naruto and Barry were literally sweating puddles under themselves. Training, last-minute training. Barry said as he panted, how much faster did we get, he asked curiously. 400 more mph, Naruto said as Barry was at 3400 and he was at 3996 miles per hour. Maybe you were right about what you said about just training and not needing those tachyons. Barry said as he felt a lot faster. Don't forget about ridding ourselves of self-doubt, Naruto said as negative emotions just slowed a speedster down from getting faster. Well, all I'm feeling is ready to show this Zoom guy just who Team Godspeed is and kick his butt. Barry said believing they could do this. That's the spirit. Naruto said to him. Later. So what do you want from us? Barry asked the black-clad speedster. Everything, Zoom said to them menacingly. Well, here we are, try and catch us. Naruto said as they began reading. Zoom sped to them and punched them, but instead of hitting skin, they shattered like glass and what looked like liquid nitrogen covered him as Zoom began shouting in pain. Ice clones, bet me back on your Earth can't do that. Naruto said with a smirk, he's slower now, he thought as Zoom vibrated out. Zoom turned to them before getting shot with 6 arrows in the back. The evil speedster grunted as he held his head before seeing everything distort and change as he tried to keep his footing. Speed damping DRGS mixed with vertigo. Even with your DRG resistance you'll be feeling that for a while, Naruto said as they began running around the lab. Barry, you ready? He asked him. Always. Barry said in excitement. Zoom got up but got hit with a psychic blast by Grodd keeping him in place. Zoom let out a loud scream and broke free. Barry, we slowed him down to 5,000 miles per hour and he's gonna get way slower, Naruto said as he siphoned him and split the energy he got from Zoom, increasing his and Barry's speed by 250 miles per hour as Zoom was now 4,500. Archers, give him another round, Cisco make him feel the vibes. Barry said. Zoom fell to his knees as Cisco began hit him with his vibrational blasts as Caitlin shot him with some ice blasts just as Nissa, Thea, and Carrie shot more arrows at him. Naruto and Barry zipped around Zoom striking him from every angle as Zoom couldn't do anything from their assault. Zoom groaned as he fell onto his stomach and laid there. Everyone stay back, Naruto said as he saw a time wraith appear. No. Zoom said as he ran away. Well, at least we know now who the remnant is, Naruto said to Barry. Yes. Ah yeah, we showed him, yeah. Barry said in excitement. Later. You idiots, you let him get away, Harry said to them in anger. Yeah, except we know how to deal with him. Those DRGS, psychic blasts, vibe blasts, and cold showers really slowed him down. Combine that with Naruto siphoning his speed, he couldn't do anything. Barry said as Harry's face made him angry and his attitude reminded him of Eobard. Be glad he defeated Zoom, Harry, Kim said to him as that was a feat of its own. And I caught it all on camera. Iris said walking in. I changed the DMN locks. How the F did you get inside? Naruto asked her in amazement. He let me in and people need to know about this guy, Iris said as Zoom was dangerous. What if we use this footage back on E2, show everyone their Zoom isn't unstoppable? Naruto said as he stole Iris' camera and copied the footage. Many of Zoom's followers follow him out of fear, show them he isn't so scary and powerful and they'll leave him. Genius. Harry said as that would be a major blow to his empire. Good to see you. Garrick seems like someone did what you could never do, he said. You all got very lucky. Zoom will come back for revenge, Jay said to them all. Yeah, shoot him. Naruto said to Nissa. What? Jay said as Nissa shot him. Give it up, Hunter Zolomon, we know it's you. Naruto said with a smirk as everyone looked at him in surprise, this guy is a time remnant. Zoom won't know we killed him or that we know he was feeding Zoom everything and switching with him as SHT went down. This one is the remnant, Naruto said as Frost froze his legs. Meaning the real one's back on Earth 2.5, Harry said in surprise. Wait, you said they SWCH? He asked curiously. Yeah, I noticed some weird reactions from him at certain instances. He must have been switching between them, Naruto said to them. How did you get my real name? Hunter asked in surprise. Earth 1 Barry, not counting a few F-ups, we got the information. Also if you die Zoom won't know how you died. Also Harry torture his butt, Naruto said, strapping him to a hospital bed and some prototype meta cuffs. I am going to enjoy this. Harry said with a smirk. Before I let him live out a sick fantasy till Zoom sends another one of you here to replace this. You, what do you want? Naruto asked, wanting confirmation. Your speed. I want both your speeds. With it I'll save my life and kill as many people as I want, Hunter said to them. You're insane, Caitlin said as she felt a little sick. He watched his mother get killed in front of him as a child by his own father and murdered countless others. Of course he's insane, Harry said, as that would have made anyone insane. Barry paused as besides a few details that was similar to his own origin. Harry, steal his speed, Naruto said to him. I don't know how to do that. Harry said to him. Well, you got a guinea pig. I'll set you up with a private lab in the basement, Naruto said, as it would be near the morgue they had. No, you can't do this, Hunter said as he was being wheeled away. I have information about the other forces, he said to them. You mean the still, strength and sage forces? Naruto asked him curiously. Yes, you're not the only scientist around, Hunter said smugly. We can figure them out ourselves, can we? Barry asked them. You need me. Hunter said, desperate to stay alive. Nissa, Thea, go with him, Naruto said as the two women left with Harry. He's still dying, right? Harry asked curiously. Yeah, those two are gonna interrogate him while you poke and prod him figuring out how to steal his speed, Naruto said to him. Can't Grodd take the info from his mind? Barry asked him. He has trouble with speedsters and I don't know what would happen. We drugged him up, man, Naruto said as the man was low on DRGS. Interrogation it is. Barry said as he saw Nissa smile as that was mentioned. And Zoom doesn't have a clue. Caitlin said with a smirk. Yeah. Naruto said with a smile, then got a phone call. Talk to me, he said to the person on the phone. You did what? He said in surprise. Hour later. I should be careful. Why? Kara asked Naruto curiously. Because Cal is a moron. Naruto said to her, listen, Jimmy Olsen is a good guy but he's an uber fanboy. I mean seriously, he said, as the man was a good and decent but he was way too into Superman and he believed that was his reason to date Lucy Lane to try and marry into Superman's family. So let me get this straight, he's into me, because I'm the female equivalent to his man crush. Kara asked as that sounded creepy. Yep, Naruto said simply. Ah, work just got a new level of creepy. Kara said as she admitted he was good looking and he seemed very eager to get to know her. So are we doing this? Naruto asked her as they were going to meet Cat Grant for an interview. Yeah, and this time don't bring our SEC life into this, please. Kara asked him. Fine, but if she asks. Naruto said, leaving the sentence vague to leave it up to Kara's imagination. I swear. Kara said as they met Kat and introduced themselves. Do either of you mind if I record this? Kat asked them. Not really. Naruto said. So how did the fastest man alive and the girl of steel meet? Kat asked them. College. Naruto said as that was true as he went to college here in National City and shared a class with Kara. Supergirl, do you feel like you're not getting your share? Because according to rumors Godspeed has other lovers. Kat asked her. Oh trust me, I get my fair share. Kara said with a happy and fond smile. Are you on par with Superman? Kat asked her. A little bit, I'm still figuring everything out. Kara said to her. I still think you'd be more famous, Naruto said to her. If you have been on Earth for a while now, why wait so long to put the cape on? Kat asked Kara. Guess I wanted to live a normal life for a while, Kara said as she didn't feel the urge in her younger as a teenager but she always felt like she was denying herself a part of herself. Godspeed, would you say you are faster than Superman? Kat asked Naruto. In some things yes, but in others, I'd like to take my time if you know what I mean. Naruto said as Kat just smiled. I'll ask Ms. Lane about that next time I see her. Kat said with a grin then looked to Godspeed, do you plan on reaching out to the new heroes that are coming out because of your heroics, she asked him. I actually talked to Superman about that recently. I am proud to say we are looking into other superheroes to join a group we are making to do things we might not be able to do on our own, Naruto said to her. And the rest of your league? Kat asked him. I'm sorry, league? Naruto asked her. The internet is branding your team of heroes a League of Justice, or a Justice League, corny but catchy to be honest. Kat said as there were many names that one being the only she didn't completely hate. I think I'll take that name. Justice League has a nice ring to it. Naruto said with a smirk. Supergirl, any relations to the Man of Steel? Kat asked Kara. No, Kara said to her. USCK at lying babe, Naruto said to her. Brother sister? Kat asked curiously. I mean the same symbol. You have to admit there is some close relation, she asked. Cousins. Kara said in admittance as she knew Kat would post any relations connection. Any others in this loving relationship between you two? Kat asked them both, just trying to confirm the rumors. I mean you have a lot of women on your team. Godspeed, she asked him with a smirk. You could say that. Naruto said coyly and teasingly. Any plans to start a family, have kids? Kat asked making Kara blush as she placed a hand over her WMB in thought of that possible future. Maybe one day. Naruto said happily making Kara smile at him. Loves kids. I swear not too many men like him around. You're lucky, Kat said as 2 of her 4 husbands didn't very much care for children or were very good where it counted. Yes, I am. Kara said sending him a wink. Anything else, Ms. Grant? Naruto asked Kat. I've got no more questions, Kat said as they ran or flew off. That is so cool, she said as she saw a trail in the sky and the trail of lightning. Few days later. You guys doing okay? Naruto said over the phone as he was glaring at the DEO work crew to work faster to SWCH from kryptonite synthetic or regular to red solar energy as he didn't want Kara hurt from the kryptonite and the radiation was deadly to anyone while red solar energy was safer. We're fine so far. Jay showed up, Barry said over the phone letting him know Zoom sent another copy. Don't get angry dude, remember he doesn't know we know. Naruto said to him. I know. I think I've learned how to keep me in check, I think. Barry said as he thought he had it handled with Eobard but he gave it away a lot of times now that he thought back to it. So how's it going with the girl of steel, he asked. Don't call her that, she's pissed about that, Naruto said as Kara wanted to be Superwoman. Hey, I wonder, think there's another her over there? Barry asked him referring to E2.5. Quite possibly. Naruto said not putting too much thought in it. You think a superwoman would belong in a gender-bent world? Barry asked with a slight shiver. I don't want to think of that. Naruto said as he was now understanding the negative effect of his CC jutsu. So you ready to start the day? Kara asked him curiously as she walked in. Yep, Naruto said with a smile, watching her get dressed in civilian clothing as she didn't move as fast as him, so he saw her undress completely. Also berry kick, but while I'm gone, he said. I got everybody watching my back, so I will. Berry said. There's a place in National City that has the best sticky buns, I'll bring you back some. Naruto said as Kara loved pot stickers and sticky buns. Bring me back things to eat that we don't got here. Maybe you could add them to jitters. Thea said over Berry's phone. Yeah. Naruto said as Berry hung up. So why are we preparing? Kara said as they ran to her job. Because, and I mean this in the nicest of ways, Superman's enemies see you as a target, an inexperienced hero ripe for the pickings, and in some ways they're right, you haven't used your powers as much, and to top it off your hand-to-hand needs work, Naruto said as he trained Alex and Kara. So you're gonna train me some more? Kara asked as Naruto and her developed some jewelry that acted as power dampeners for her so she could feel human during training and other activities. Yes, just be glad it's me and not Alex. They have a room that they can bombard with very low levels of kryptonite, so imagine that and you and your sister going at it. Naruto said. Ouch. Kara said as she'd be at a major disadvantage. Be glad I made those idiots take it apart and made them use red solar energy instead, Naruto said to her. Still mad at Hank, I see, Kara said with a chuckle. He shot you down out of the freaking sky with kryptonite darts and that weird EMP thing and handcuffed you with kryptonite cuffs onto a table. Of course I'm still pissed. Naruto said as he had to restrain every cell within himself from flat-out killing Hank. Sometimes I think Alex scares him, you should have heard her chew him out after that happened. Kara said as she chuckled as Alex sent her the tape. Good. Naruto said, sounding proud. Oh, I forgot Cat's dash, Kara was saying till Naruto brought her Cat's order of coffee and Naruto also got her a donut order. Thank you, she said, kissing him as she left. Naruto just wandered around and soon got a text from Cisco showing him a global satellite scan of National City and saw that there was a small but noticeable spot. For the love of God, please don't be Metallo, he said as the mechanical being was always stocking up on kryptonite, using it as a battery to increase his strength. Metallo? Jimmy said, appearing around the corner. Cal says hello. Naruto said, wanting to shut him up immediately and not wanting him to call Cal with his super dumb watch. You know? Jimmy asked as he thought he was the only one that knew. Yeah, okay, I gotta go. Naruto said as he was gonna look into this scan, as Kara fighting Metallo didn't seem like a good idea if the scans were accurate. Few minutes later, on the outskirts of the city. Oh God. Naruto said as he was glad the radiation here was off the scales, so glad. After Ronnie and Stein I added some radiation shielding, he said as if a normal person spent too much time here. It was an open invite to cancer, SHT the readings are so strong I can't find a trail. This might not be Metallo, he said as kryptonite was strong but these readings were incredibly high. You're trespassing, a man in a trench coat said to him. Sorry. Naruto said, getting a weird vibe from the man. He's too covered, he thought seriously. Now look buddy, I'm in a good mood, so just please leave before I get mad, the man said to him. Alright later, Naruto said as he walked away, and when he was sure he wasn't being followed and alone he made a call and ran. Cal, do you have any unaccounted rogues? Think radiation and people that might have skin conditions, he said as the man thought of a few people. Radiation-based is Metallo, Conduit, and Kryptonite Man, and for people with skin conditions you'd have noticed Bizarro. The only one I got off the top of my head is Dash. The Parasite. Tried to warn you kid, the man said as Naruto dodged and the parasite grazed his skin. Whoa kid, what a rush, he said as he glowed a dim blue and had white lightning dance around him. Rudy Jones, I should have known. Naruto said as he helped Cal's people make a prison for this villain. Rudy Jones, haven't heard that name in years kid. Parasite said with a chuckle, so who are you? No way you are normal, he said as the momentary touch was already dying. Yeah, Kara has zero chance, Naruto thought as Cal had a tough time fighting him alone, adding in a radioactive villain, any of which Cal mentioned was not good odds for either Kryptonian. No answer. Alright, and wait, do I know you? Parasite said as he thought Naruto looked familiar. Nope. Also, Naruto said, activating an alarm. Soups is on his way, he said, bluffing as he wasn't gonna call the guy. Good, I'm hungry. Parasite said hungrily. In his space suit, Naruto said as Parasite needed skin contact. Kid, give it up, I've fallen for that before, not again. Parasite said. Fine, wanna play ball? Naruto asked as he held up a silver ball and tossed the ball up. Take him, Minma, he said as a robotic fox soon appeared. Thank you, nanobots, he said under his breath as he had been further developing his nanotechnology. Parasite looked up before Minma backhanded him with its tail. Can't feed on tech, now can you? Naruto said as Parasite shook his head as he got up. Okay, that hurt. Parasite said as the power he got faded. You used to work with STR Labs, right? Maybe I can help you, give you a normal life again. Naruto said as he remembered the man. Now I remember you, only guy who wasn't a douchebag to me, Parasite said to him, and as good as it is to see you, and now this is real shitty, you're worth a pretty penny, so I want you to know this sucks and wish I could let you go, he said as Naruto was a decent guy. And sorry my fox bot has to kick your butt, Naruto said as the robot fox sent Parasite flying. F this. Parasite said as he ran away. Later with Kara. That butt is here. Kara said angrily as Parasite kidnapped her cousin. Can you cut the guy a break? Naruto asked her curiously. Why? Kara asked in surprise. He used to be a janitor for STR Labs, but everyone treated him like SHT, so can you blame him for going bad? Naruto said as there were people a little worse than how Hartley was. What am I gonna do? I'm no match for him, one touch and I'm done. Kara said as her cousin filled her in on the guy's capabilities. Well, he can't drain Minma, so I'm good. Naruto said as he could wear Minma. Oh, also here, he gave her a necklace. My necklace from Christmas? Kara asked curiously. I retrofitted it with nanites and it equips your suit onto you. Naruto said as he scanned her outfit. Awesome, Kara said in amazement. Now what? Parasite's gone under, so I can't track him. Naruto asked as he still had a hard time determining the radiation, as Kel had a few enemies with radiation. I guess we wait. Kara said as she hated waiting. We may not have that option, Naruto said as he saw on a nearby TV as Kat had multiple TVs in her building and saw Maxwell Lord was kidnapped. Naruto, I literally can't do anything, I go and he'll get my powers. Combine them with yours and he'll be unstoppable. Kara said to him. Yeah, and our weaknesses, Naruto said to her with a small grin. You don't have any. Do you? Yeah, hold on, Naruto said, running away. Mr. Freeze and a copy of Captain Cold's guns, Naruto said to her, and held a lead container, and Cal gave me Metallo's first battery, he said with a grin. I thought you said Minma copies powers and attacks, why not just sick him on his purple butt? I'm sure he's learned a lot of moves and powers. Kara said. Only if they're possible, I mean he can scan certain people and find countermeasures. Naruto said to her. That's it? Then what makes him so dangerous then if he can't do much? Kara asked as she thought the robot would have more. He's adaptable, he scanned my tech and adapted to it, Naruto said as the AI was always advancing. So he learns from combat and adapts when he encounters something new? Kara asked as an adaptable machine was impressive. Yep, and looks like we found out who it is he's working with, Reactron, Naruto said to her. Mot half. Kara said as this guy gave her cousin a lot of trouble, what are we gonna do? I can't hurt Parasite, and Reactron has enough strength as my cousin, he'd bend you like a toothpick, she said to him. That bee needs to catch me first, Naruto said to her. Let's just get this over with before SHT goes down. Kara said as they began looking for the villainous duo. Hour later. I swear why him, I hate this PP, Naruto said as he found Maxwell Lord. Be careful around him, Kara, he's a calculative PP, he said as Lord was much like Luther in a lot of ways. He may be a PP but he's a smart one. Kara said as Naruto told her about a lot of people he's met that were too rich and had too big of egos. Surprise. Parasite said dropping onto Naruto, who soon broke free. What a rush, he said running around. Go distract him, Naruto said referring to Reactron. Parasite grabbed Naruto by the neck slamming against a wall. I swear, Naruto thought as he broke free. You're not going anywhere. Parasite said as he grabbed Naruto again and began choking him. Okay, enough of this, come on leech, Naruto said as Parasite followed behind him. Soup said this guy slowly loses his power, he thought to himself. Gotcha. Parasite said as he tackled Naruto to the ground and held him down. No you don't. Naruto said as he vibrates. I can do that too. Parasite said as he began to vibrate as well. Alright, that's it, you want power so bad. Take it. Naruto said as he began generating white lightning from his body. Ah, yes. And I thought the Man of Steel was a feast. Parasite said as he absorbed all the energy. Well, take it. Naruto said as he fed Parasite. Yes. Wait, it's too much, I can't anymore, Parasite said as he began to glow. I'm just giving you what you wanted. Naruto said as he saw Parasite burn up then blowed up. He'll be back, right? Kara asked Naruto as she crashed next to him. Yep, Soup said this has happened to him before, Naruto said to her and looked at Reactron. SHT. Reactron said as his suit was damaged and saw he was now outnumbered. Hold on, Naruto said running to Reactron and vibrated then did a jump kick as he vibrated kicking Reactron out. Yuck, what happened to him? Kara said seeing many burns and blisters. That's what exposure to radiation will do to you. Naruto said as he was glad his suit was well shielded. What about that? Kara said as the suit was still acting haywire. Melt a piece of the suit and encase the radiation in lead. Naruto said as the suit was made of lead, otherwise the man would have died years ago. So it doesn't blow up when I take it out? Kara asked curiously. Yep, now do it, Naruto said to her as she melted the metal in her palm and wrapped it around the isotope. 1 hour later. You know, it was a real SHT move to try and call Soups. Naruto said to Jimmy Olsen as he stood at the door of his office. It was Parasite and Reactron, both have nearly killed Cal over the years. What did you want me to do, let them try and kill Kara? James said. No, but letting her know what she was in for and giving her the option was better because it would be bad for her image if people saw Cal come to her rescue, Naruto said to him, plainly glad Cal backed off when he sent him a message. That's what you're mad at me about, almost ruining her image? Jimmy asked him. Oh, I could give a SHT, that's her decision on how she looks to people. I'll defend and protect her since Kara cares about people, Naruto said as Kara cared what people thought. So it doesn't matter if her boyfriend comes to save her, but it's a problem if it comes from Superman? Jimmy asked him as he put together who he was. I didn't save her, dipshit, I worked with her. There is a difference, Naruto said to him. Fine, I can never win an argument with you. It's always that clear way you do. I'm not mad that Kara's alive, but I'm mad that you see that I was gonna try and help her as a problem. Jimmy said to him. There's a difference between helping out of fear and out of friendship, Naruto said as Oliver often acted out of fear to protect the other. And clearly I'm not her friend anymore, am I? Jimmy asked him. Oh, she's pissed, very pissed you pulled that. Good luck trying to win her over, Naruto said as Kara knew how to hold a grudge. I know. Jimmy said as he knew he sometimes acted impatiently as it had gotten him into trouble in his younger years as he was starting out as a junior reporter. James, Naruto said. Who was I kidding? Me being a part of that, I never deserved it. Tomorrow I'll try and see if Kat will get in touch with the Daily Planet, she won't have to see me ever again. Jimmy said to him. Hold that thought, stupid, you might screw up, but at least you have some reason in your decisions. You're chewing me out because I just screwed up the friendship I had with her, and you think I should stay? I don't know if I can even face her after what I did. Face anyone? Jimmy said. James, Naruto said. I was selfish, greedy and stupid Jimmy was saying till he was interrupted. Oh, man up, instead of running away from your problems, run to them, Naruto said, knowing the analogy was a bit ironic. Okay, I can't get you, first you're berating the hell out of me, and now you want to help me? After what I did to Kara, all because I wanted to be a part of Superman's family? You seriously think I can fix this? Jimmy asked him. Forgiveness is a two-way street, so good luck, Naruto said, laughing as he walked away. I don't deserve her forgiveness, Jimmy said, letting out a sigh. Then be someone who does later, Naruto said, walking away, giving Jimmy a much-needed wake-up call. Few minutes later, Kara was in pure bliss as she sat on her desk as Naruto kissed her. Kara, if you're gonna make out with your hero boyfriend, don't do it in the office, Kat said, walking into her office. You know? Kara asked her boss. Yep, Kat said with a smirk. Oh, don't worry, I won't tell anyone about either of you, heroes, she said. You knew? Kara asked her, surprised. Oh please, I'm not dumb, it's you without glasses, how hard is that to figure out? Kat said with a chuckle, plus him showing up when Godspeed does is too coincidental, she said to them. Usually everyone doesn't think about that, Naruto said, rubbing the back of his head, as too many people were idiots. Like how all it takes is some glasses and a change makes it easy to hide. Kat asked him. So you know about Cal? Kara asked as Kat's eyes widened. Or you didn't realize that, she said, her voice shrinking. Oh please, Clark disappears, Superman shows up. You disappear and Supergirl shows up. I'm not an idiot, I've known for years. If I wanted to say something I'd have done it by now, Kat said, not letting them know she just made that connection between Superman and Clark Kent. You just got it, didn't you? Naruto asked her plainly. Yeah, Kat said in admittance. So, this is awkward, Kara said as she was glad the office was closed and everyone went home. It doesn't have to be, Kat said, sending her a wink. Kara instantly perked up at those implications. I do not like that look, Naruto said as Kara was very SXL. Hold on, Kara said as she cut off Kat's clothing with her heat vision, leaving her in her BR and panties, showing off her low D-cup melons, curvy body, and round peach. Hello, Naruto said, checking her out. Why do you think I had a bit of a crush on her? Kara said to him as she heat visioned her own clothing off, showing off her high D-cup melons, athletic but curvy body, and plump peach. Want me to do you? She asked him. No thanks, Naruto said as he vibrated and his clothes fell off. Oh my god, Kat said as she saw his member and instantly felt herself moisten. Me and my sister share that, Kara said to Kat. And guess what, Kat? She said with a smirk. You're gonna live up to your name, she said, whispering into her boss's ear, making said woman shiver, and saw Kara run out and return quickly with a collar and a leash. You steal that? Naruto asked her curiously. Left cash in the pet store, made sure I wasn't seen, Kara said, putting the collar and leash on Kat. Naruto chuckled as he sat in Kat's chair and watched Kara live out her fantasy. Hey Kat, guess what? From now on when I get you your coffee, I'm gonna pour my PP juices into it, and if Naruto's here he'll leak inside it. Can you imagine it, drinking our love juices every day, she said, spanking her boss's peach. She always like this during SEC? Kat asked Naruto, feeling a strong slap. Oh yeah, she's not as innocent as you think, Naruto said as Kara was very lustful in bed. Naruto, you mind if I borrow that chair? I think it's time Ms. Grant works hard for something, Kara said as Naruto got off the chair, and she immediately sat down and pulled Kat with her and pulled her head to her PP. Start eating, B, she said, smiling as Kat did as she was told. Maybe I'll have you as my actual cat, put a BTTPLG that had a tail at the end in you and maybe some cat ears, she said, smiling at the thought. Where were you when I met my 4 husbands? Kat asked. Me or her? Naruto asked Kat curiously. Both, Kat said as she had some crazy experiences in college. So how is she? Naruto asked Kara curiously. Better than in my fantasies, Kara said as she loudly. That's good, Naruto said with a smirk. I've got some experience with women. Kat said with a smile, licking out her secretary. Not like this one, Naruto said to her as Kara was insane with SEC after the pink kryptonite incident. Kara loudly as she wraps her legs around Kat's head, pushing her tongue in deeper. Forget the queen of media, you should be the queen of PP eating UF slot. Kara said as she climaxed onto her boss's face. Sweet. Kinda like candy. Kat said as she wiped the juices on her face and ate it up. Glad you liked it. Kara said with a grin, because whenever the opportunity presents itself I'm gonna make you eat my PP at work, after work, days off, basically whenever I'm corny your mouth will be eating my PP, she said as she tugged Kat's leash, pulling her up to a kiss. Alex is gonna love this. Naruto said, imagining Alex joining Kara whenever she has Kat. My salty sister can wait her turn, Kara said with a perverse smile. If my memory is good, I recall you always being the one being dominated by her. Naruto said with a smirk. That was before I her into SBMSN, Kara said with a grin. In your dreams. Naruto said to her. Yeah, we've actually been taking turns who's the SBMSSV1. Kara said as they both liked both roles of being DMNT and SBMSSV. Now I believe either it's my turn or you gonna keep living out your fantasies. Naruto asked her curiously. Oh, I don't know, Kat, what do you want to do, BF by that monster and ruin yourself for other men, or want me to make you my slot for life, Kara said, pinching her tips. Can't I choose both? Kat said as she was turned on from both thoughts alone. Fantastic, let's on her desk, let the slot always remember where she was wrecked, Kara said as Naruto moved all her valuables off the desk and laid her flat on it as Kara destroyed both their undergarments. Kat said out loudly as she felt Naruto's member rub her slit. How the F do you take this constantly, she asked Kara, who watched with a perverse look. Practice and being constantly stupid, Kara said happily. Kat screamed in pleasure as Naruto shoved himself inside of her. You are so tight. Naruto said, feeling her walls squeezing him. Kat said with tears coming down her face, you are bigger than all of my husbands, none of them were even half your size, she screamed in pleasure. DMN right I am. Naruto said to her as he picked up the pace. Kara smiled lustfully as she masturbated in Kat's chair, watching her boyfriend her boss into a complete mess. Naruto leaned over Kat and began kissing her neck as he kneaded her melons. Kara, you are getting a raise. Kat said in complete bliss. Naruto leaned down and began liking and eating on her tips, making her scream in bliss. Yeah, her stupid, baby. Make her yours. Kara said as she fingered her PP, watching him Kat into oblivion. Naruto looked down at Kat with a smirk as he began picking up the pace even more. Beg Kat beg, Kara said to her loudly, wanting to hear her boss submit to her lover. Please leak in my PP, Kat said as she growled in lust and let out a pleasure-filled whine. Just leak in me, stuff me with your hot juices, she said beggingly as she was sexually deprived for years. Naruto grabbed Kat by her sides and began pulling her into his thrusts. He's in my WMB. Kat said as she screamed in pleasure. Yeah, get used to that, Kara said as she soaked her boss's chair in her juices. Kat screams as Naruto began leaking inside of her WMB. My WMB is gonna burst like AF balloon, she thought as she screamed in pleasure. Kara watched as Naruto pulled out and saw as his leak began to slowly leak out of Kat's PP. Baby, you are amazing, isn't that right, Ms. Grant? Kara asked, rubbing her slit as she ate on Naruto's juices she collected with her finger. She's out, babe. Naruto said with a smirk. I was really enjoying my new pet. I guess it's time you remind me of what I am, right? Kara said, kneeling down, tasting Kat's juices on Naruto's PP as she kissed the tip. Naruto grabbed her head and began to brutally her face. I swear I wish this was my job, Kara thought in pleasure as she loved eating Naruto off and enjoyed it greatly. Naruto grins as he looked down at her as she looked up at him as he uses her throat like a sex toy. Kara's eyes roll up as she began to taste his pre-juices on her tongue. His juices tastes divine, she thought, wanting to milk his PP dry. Naruto shoves her head onto the base of his PP as he began leaking down her throat. Ah, Kara said, pulling away as she smiled, feeling his juice land on her face, and soon she used her incredible lung capacity and sucked it all up and ate it. Naruto turned her around and put her head against the floor as she was on her hands and knees. What are you gonna do to me next? Kara asked, dying secularly, desperately needing to know how bad he was gonna wreck her lower holes. This. Naruto said as he shoves himself into her peach. Kara screamed in pleasure, feeling him in her peach as he began thrusting into it. Yes, F your salty Kryptonian's dirty hole, stretch it out baby, she said as she out in joy. Naruto began pounding her peach like there was no tomorrow, just slamming himself into it like her peach not being gentle whatsoever. Kara screamed in bliss as her eyes roll up into her skull as her tongue hangs from her mouth. F he's gonna leak, she thought, feeling his PP twitch inside her, ready to flood her peach with his juices. Naruto grunted before he erupted in her lower, making sure every drop didn't go to waste as he flooded her peach with his juices. F I swear you are literally gonna break my DMN mind. Kara said in pleasure and then screamed as she felt him jam his PP in her PP as he pounded it just the same way he did to her peach. Does your PP ever F quit? She asked him. Nope, not as long as ladies like you are around. Naruto said before grunting as he felt himself break into her WMB, causing her to scream in joy. Kinda regretting taking the hero mantle now, Kara thought to herself, as she always wanted a family of her own and now regretted not taking advantage of the years she had to herself while not being a hero. Naruto began flooding her WMB with his juices, making her scream in bliss. I swear we ruined this office, Kara said, sounding proud as she looked at her boss and took out her phone. She had recording the whole thing and sent it to Kat's phone. Naruto caught Kara as her legs just about gave out. You're here for another few days, right? Kara asked curiously. Yep, Naruto said to her, seeing her smile, which was so bright and innocent it was hard to believe everything she did and said in this office. Next day. I thought you were joking, Kat said as she looked at her coffee Kara brought her. No, I wasn't. Now drink, Kara said, bringing it closer. It has that special heavy cream, she said with a smirk. Kat picked up the cup and began to drink it and soon began to devour it. Can I get another glass, with just the cream? She said, looking to Kara with pleading eyes. Kara merely smirked and petted her head affectionately. Few days later. So, how's things with Jimmy? Naruto asked her. Better actually, I decided to give him another chance. Kara said as she accepted his apology and her temper cooled after a few days. That's good, when I was at his office I could tell he regretted what he did. Naruto said as Jimmy still had this fanboy vibe to him. You ready to do some laps? Kara said as they did laps around the city. Here in front of everyone. Kara, I didn't think you had that in you. Naruto said as he chuckled, seeing her blush a little. Talk about lady on the streets, freak in the sheets, he said, whispering in her ear, hearing her shiver. Naruto laughed as the two left. Any plans for Thanksgiving? Kara asked him curiously. Lots of people are asking me that, but I'll stick with you this year, Naruto said as he visited Kara on every holiday, as even though she loved her human family she was always reminded that she didn't have much family left and Cal rarely came to visit, so that added to the longing to see her. Yeah, well, Eliza's coming, sure, that's gonna be fun. Kara said. Now I'm terrified. Naruto said as mothers were terrifying. After these laps I'm supposed to help them transfer a prisoner to a new cell. Kara said to him. And you intend to leave me alone with your mother? Huh, no way, Naruto said, having more value on his life. Eliza's not in town yet. Kara said to him. Your mother is smart, she might have lied, Naruto said to her. Look, if I've done the math, we have enough time to handle the alien and then go and see her, it'll be alright. Kara said as she knew her Earth mother was terrifying. Alright, did you forget what she did when she found out I was Godspeed? Naruto said as he visited her on Christmas, and when Kara's mom walked in she saw him unmasked in his suit. Also, I find it insane you gave her a key, he said as they were very close to having SEC. And what's wrong with that? Kara asked him. That any moment we have SEC she can walk in and we don't know about it, Naruto said as he only gave his lovers keys to his house. Okay, I see your point, Kara said in admittance as Christmas really sucked. 2 hours later. God, he was tough. Kara said as they looked at the unconscious alien prisoner that tried to escape. Hank said to her. Wow, respect. Kara said impressed by how strong she was. Right, Mom, show up yet? Alex asked curiously, where's Godspeed, she asked, not using his real name. At my apartment. Kara said to her. Are you insane? Why the F would you leave him alone with Mom? Alex asked her. She hasn't arrived yet, Kara said nonchalantly. She lies. How are you the smartest person here and not know that? Alex asked her, amazed she was so innocent. Because if she did show up, he'd have told me. Kara said. How? Alex said as her mother basically held people hostage in conversation. Because he's at the apartment and using his tech skills to track her. Oh, and she's about 10 minutes away, we should go. Kara said as Naruto sent her an text. Go on, we can handle her. Hank said as agents began restraining the unconscious alien. Few minutes later. She very well might kill us all. Alex said outside her and Kara's apartment. She weighs like 80 pounds. What can she? Okay, shutting up, Kara said as her sister gave her a look. I mean, come on, she was once mad at me because you weren't dating enough. What's she gonna do about Supergirl? Alex said as Kara opened her mouth to respond but had nothing to say to that. She sounded fine on the phone. Kara said after a few moments. You're a woman and you believe that? Alex asked her. At least she's making pie. Kara said to her. Yeah, probably your favorite. Alex said as her mother spoiled Kara. Chocolate pecan pie is the best dessert in the galaxy. And as someone who's been to 12 different planets, I mean that literally. Kara said before. Someone began knocking at the door. Oh God, change out of that. Alex said as she thought Kara had a change OG clothing hidden somewhere. It's fine. Kara said as she opened the door for Eliza. Oh, my girls. My best, favorite, wonderful girls. Eliza said as she placed her suitcases down and hugged Kara, and then Alex, blue was always your color, she said to Kara. And white is mine, Naruto said in his Godspeed suit as he felt like he needed it. Alex, sweetie, you're looking a little tired. Is the lab keeping you busy? Eliza asked Alex. I offered you to work for me, Naruto said to Alex, who looked very tempted to take the offer. At least you'd be doing 2 things you like, Eliza said as she knew about their relationship as it was fairly common on Krypton apparently. Mom. Alex said. Oh, I'm just teasing. Eliza said simply, but I would like some grandchildren. This is why my mother likes her so much, Naruto said as he let out a sigh. Mom/Eliza. Oh please, I know for a fact one of you wants kids, Eliza said as she was unsure of that statement till Kara blushed a bright red. Blush any brighter and you might faint or even combust. Naruto said with a chuckle. So anything interesting at work? Eliza asked Kara. Let's make dinner, Alex said as this was bomb waiting to go off. I made macaroni, salad, biscuits, pot stickers Naruto was saying, seeing Kara scream in excitement, and sticky buns, he said as Kara kissed him in excitement. I heard from Kat that she moved an employee of hers to cover traffic, Leslie Willis. Kara said as she had to give Eliza an answer otherwise she'd keep asking. Yeah, the woman who kept questioning your sexuality and was basically describing my body under the suit, Naruto said as Leslie sounded jealous to him when she talked about Kara. Who's that another girl for you? Eliza asked him. Probably, I mean I'm here for a while so I got time. Naruto said jokingly. She is kinda hot. Kara said, pulling up her picture. How much of that kryptonite affected her? Eliza asked, hearing about an incident where Kara was exposed to pink kryptonite. A lot, that's what happens when Kryptonians are exposed to it. Alex said to her mother. Yet she still dates Naruto, Eliza asked curiously, wondering how her daughter could be turned gay but date the opposite SEC. "'Cause I got mad skills," Naruto said simply. Alex coughed as she was taking a drink. "He's not wrong, like at all," she said, as it should have been criminal, as she thought she was a lesbian at one point but was okay being bisexual. "And I thought when I heard about you two it was strange," Eliza said as she drank something she poured. "Wait, that's my rocket fuel," Naruto said, making her stop and look at him strangely. "It's booze that can get me drunk, but to normal people it's borderline poison," he said as. "Oh, I forgot, I ordered takeout, I'm gonna go get it," Kara said. "I'm coming with," Alex and Naruto said. "Fine, I'll get started on dinner," Eliza said as she went into the kitchen. 30 minutes later. "Man, is it lighting up out there," Naruto said, seeing all the lightning flashes in the sky. "I got it, Mom's furious, you came out but she's pretending she isn't," Alex said. "Are you sure she's mad at all?" Kara asked her. "Listen, Kara, take it from a guy who has dated as many types of women. There are women, especially mothers, always disapprove of choices we make. She has always come down hard on me for not protecting you," Alex said, as that was normally what happened. "Then maybe it's time for you to come out. Tell her who you really are. What you really do," Kara said to her sister. "You want me to tell her I'm a DEO agent?" "No way, I can't officially, we don't exist," Alex said. "Yeah, Kara, let's be honest, she wasn't happy about you know me being Godspeed," Naruto said, as after the scientist part of her wanted to study him she came down hard. "Shut up," Kara said, not knowing how else to respond. "No, I'm serious," she was Naruto was saying. "No, seriously, be quiet," Kara said as she heard screaming. "The helicopter, Leslie. It's been struck by lightning," she said as they ran out of the diner to see the helicopter was spinning out of control. "Clear the streets," she said to Alex and Naruto as she ran to an alley to change before flying up and catching the pilot, who fell out, before flying up to stop the catcocopter from crashing into a building. "Whoa! Supergirl," Leslie said as Kara opened the copter door. "Take my hand," Kara said before she was struck by a bolt of lightning as the electricity seemed to flow from her into Leslie, turning her hair white. Few hours later. "I'm fine," Kara said as Naruto checked her over. "Well, I prefer living, and your mother may very well kill me if I'm not 100% since I didn't stop you," Naruto said as he glared at the doctors here and berated them for not doing a physical on her regular health stats besides study her biology. "I'm fine, why not check on Leslie," Kara said to him. "And let you eat all my food, all you do is heat beam a turkey while I cook from scratch," Naruto said to her. "Just go, get her to the hospital," Kara said, not wanting to admit what he said was true. Hospital minutes later. "I swear," Naruto said as he touched her and sparks came off him and into her and vice versa, "this is insane," he said to no one in particular. "Oh yeah," Leslie said as she woke up and more power went between them. "Easy, Leslie," Naruto said to her as more lightning danced between them. "What's happening to me?" Leslie asked him as she sighed in pleasure and relief. "Supergirl was struck by lightning, the energy intensified as it passed into you, turning you into a meta-human," Naruto said as this put her in that category. "Awesome. So handsome, what happened to you? Because blue is me and the white seems all you," Lizzie said, unbelievably calm. Naruto looked to see if the coast was clear and that there were no cameras. "I am Godspeed, you're feeling my electrical energy, but be careful, someone once tried absorbing the Flash's energy and it killed him," he said, not needing another blackout situation. "So what happens to me now, Naruto?" Leslie asked. "Well, now you have a choice of what you want to do with this gift you have been given," Naruto said to her. "You mean be a hero like Supergirl, or be one of the people you guys take down?" Leslie asked curiously. "So if I join anything to make the job sweeter?" she asked curiously. "I could think of some things, so what about getting off weather?" Naruto asked her as he was sure Kat would say yes if he asked. "You just got way more hotter," Lizzie said to him. Want to go to dinner? It is Thanksgiving, Naruto asked her, spreading the kindness. Jay, just like that? Leslie asked him in surprise. You don't receive kindness that much, do you? Naruto asked, as he could see she didn't have many connections to others. I had a shitty family, abused for most of my childhood, before I finally said something to the cops. Leslie said as she was on the streets for a while, then met Kat and actually became someone. Yeah, I have 2 friends who were just like that, but me and my family were there for them. I can be there for you, and I have many friends who can help you. For one, you're not the only electric person I know, and I helped them figure out how to fix the water shorting out thing. Naruto said to her. SCK if I shorted out taking a shower, Leslie said, as that'd SCK tremendously. Yeah, try training to become a swimmer. Naruto said. Do you really think I can become a hero? Leslie asked incredulously, as she was known as quite possibly the biggest bee ever. Yes, I do. Naruto said as he saw the good in everyone. I'll try. Leslie said as she was never really nice in her time. Do or do not, there is no try. Naruto said as he watched too many movies with Cisco. Okay, Yoda. Leslie said, giving him a playful nudge as the two laugh. Now let's go eat before an incredibly hot blonde eats all the food, Naruto said as he was being completely serious. Supergirl? I'm going to eat with Supergirl. Leslie asked him. I said hot blonde and you thought of her? Naruto asked her with a smirk. I got nothing to say to that. Leslie said as they sped out. Later at Kara's and Alex's apartment. Is this normal? Leslie asked curiously. Very. Naruto, Kara and Alex said to her as they had plates full of food. I haven't celebrated Thanksgiving in, ever actually. Leslie said, thinking back to all the abuse as she never really celebrated holidays in her childhood. That's so sad. Eliza said, feeling like giving her a hug as her motherly instincts were kicking in. Nothing to be thankful for when all you receive is belts and bottles to your face. Leslie said. No one said anything. I'll be back real quick, Naruto said to them as he was gone for a few moments, having a little BLD on him. Okay, I beat the SHT out of your dad and your mom and him are in jail, he said proudly. Did he just dash? Leslie was saying as she couldn't believe what he just did. Meet Naruto, he does that to anyone who hurts his friends. Especially those who abuse their kids. Alex said as she got incredibly turned on when he got violent. So, are you two talking after the DEO fiasco? Kara asked as Alex told Eliza while Naruto was with Leslie. Give me some time. Eliza said, and it's not just that. It's about Jeremiah, she said as she explained some things to them. Few hours later. Well, goodbye, stay safe and watch each other's backs. Also don't be afraid to zap DEO agents that are not Alex, Naruto said to Kara and Leslie, now dubbed Livewire. Yeah, this whole working for this alien government thing may take some getting used to. Leslie said as she was still catching up. Okay, later, Naruto said as he ran home. With Kushina. Hey, but, Kushina said to a floating golden helmet. Where is Kent Nelson? Minato asked curiously. Dead Minato, Kushina said as Nabu may have extended a person's life, they died eventually. That is sad. For what purpose are you here to speak to Nabu? Nabu asked her. You know PP Clariot is here, Kushina said as she hated this guy. A Lord of Chaos, here. I must act, but I need a host. Nabu said as the helmet looked at them. F you if you think we're putting you on, Kushina said to him. Didn't you, I don't know, have a male STRPR for a host, she asked him as she kept tabs on Nabu. The most horrible experience in my life, Nabu said as he regretted picking that person as a host. How am I to stop Clarion if I do not have a body? He asked them. Oh, I don't know, pick some other dipshit, Kushina said as Nabu picked idiots for hosts. It is not as easy as that. I need someone trained in the mystic arts. Nabu said as those were very rare nowadays. Yeah, well, not abandoning my body so you can Shanghai and keep my body as, Kushina said, as Nabu sometimes kept certain bodies. If I picked some random person I wouldn't stand a chance against Clarion. Nabu said to her. Well, go look for one, and if you pick my son I will destroy your soul, Kushina said to him, deadly serious. I am literally the helmet. How the hell am I supposed to leave to find a host? Nabu asked her. You are a disembodied soul, do what you always do, Minato said, as this was almost sad to watch. Ha! I miss having a body. Nabu said before he left. The world is so screwed, Kushina said out loud as Minato let out a chuckle, which she responded with a cold blank stare. With Naruto. What the F? Naruto said as he saw a brain-dead girl lying on a bed. I swear I come here to find proof this guy sabotages a train, and I find this, he thought as Kara informed him about Maxwell Lord making a man do terrible acts just to get readings off of Supergirl. Naruto looks at the black liquid going into the girl's body. It looks like hydrochloric acid, but she'd be melting into goo. Okay, think Naruto, did he alter it? He thought as Lord was smart. He stopped thinking when he saw a wall full of Supergirl pictures, measurements, ideas, and theories. There's my second idea. He's trying to make his own Supergirl, using her DNA and flushing it into this girl's system. He thought, very glad to be moving so fast the cameras couldn't see him. Naruto used his suit's cameras to collect evidence, but not before taking some of the black liquid into a bottle. In case I'm right, which I hope I'm not, this is a concentrated form of Kara's DNA, he thought as he was hoping he was wrong for once, and also silently thanking himself for putting small compartments in his suit to carry things. Alright, got everything I need. He said, knowing this wasn't enough to put Lord away but discredit him or threaten him. Few minutes later. How is he? Naruto asked Kat as he was currently in her house. The boy was on a runaway train. He was ecstatic, Kat said as she was worried out of her mind when she heard about it. I'm gonna murder Lord, she said as the man put many people including her son at risk. Yeah, well, here, use that when absolutely necessary, Naruto said as he handed her a flash drive. Few days later. I swear I don't understand why Kel hasn't killed Lane yet. Naruto said, running from National City to outside the city to the DEO, passing by a small military convoy a few minutes away from the DEO, he then quickly informed. They just showed up and I already hate them. Leslie said, not really caring but just not liking the military. Be calm, Naruto said to her, glad he was in his Godspeed suit as General Lane was the last person he needed to know his identity. You're inducting metahumans in now, Director Henshaw? General Lane asked, looking at Hank before glancing at Leslie. Godspeed suggested her, wanted to put her on the right path, so he sent her our way. So General Lane, what can I do for Army intelligence? Hank said, also finding the general as equally annoying as everyone else. You got a problem, Lane? Naruto said to him. Director, I need you to approve an immediate transfer. A member of your field unit to my command. General Lane said, ignoring Naruto. Who? Hank asked, finding this. The lady in red. Lane said simply. Say no, Supergirl, Naruto said to her. Presidential order, Lucy said, making her presence known. Yeah, well, last I checked she wasn't being paid and was assisting this BS operation, Naruto said as the DEO had a lot internal and structural issues with how they dealt and subdued aliens. Listen, freak, she is going to do whatever the F she wants, General Lane was saying till Naruto interrupted him. I'm good with whatever as I am bored. Leslie said as she scratched her head. What's wrong? Don't think you can handle it? Lucy asked Kara. Nice try, not that easy to egg on, Kara said to her as she didn't need to prove anything to them. We did not come all this way to get a no. Project RT needs a combatant. Lane said to them. How about you get 2 of these, Naruto said, flipping him off, Leslie joining in flipping off the military. I'll do it as I am tired of boredom before that. Leslie said as she needed something to do, a way to alleviate her boredom. Livewire, no. Whenever it comes with this guy there's always strings attached. Naruto said as Lane always did things out of paranoia and fear, and he also targeted against Superman, so he was sure the robot was. designed to fight Cal and Kara. It's either that or I'm blowing up one of these cars or something. Leslie said as she pointed to a military vehicle. That's government, I don't give a SHT, Lane was saying till Leslie interrupted him. Okay, enough, we are at a government location, so let's try and act professional here. Hank said, trying to stop a fight before it starts. Yeah, you picked the wrong crowd, Alex said as tempers were running high. The Red Tornado needs someone to fight, a man said walking over to them. Ladies and gentlemen, the maker of Project RT, T.O. Moro, Lane said. And last I checked, douchebag, we told you to F off, Naruto said angrily. Does the mighty Godspeed not believe his girlfriend can take on an android? T.O. Moro said. My ego isn't as easily provoked as this, but, Naruto said pointing at Lane. What ego? You make yourself as this man with no sins or evil in him. Lane said. Oh, I know I make my mistakes might cause some harm, but I work hard to do good. You're just a corrupt but who abuses his power, Naruto said simply. Then why don't we see what the Red Tornado can do against you? T.O. Moro asked him. Can we get something, or are you going to bad-mouth my father this entire time? Lucy asked them. Well, princess, from what I've heard your dad is a PP, Leslie said to her as Kara told her a lot. Call my princess again and I will break your arm. Lucy said with a smile. Please, it'll alleviate the boredom, Leslie said to her. Why not all three of you take on my android? T.O. Moro asked. And you think your piece of SHT android can take out your metal robot? Leslie asked, not knowing whether to laugh or be insulted. Can you people come to an agreement sometime this century? Hank asked as this was getting annoying and wasting time. If he thinks it can take on all three of us, let do it, Kara said with a grin. Figured, Godspeed doesn't seem to take on challenges with help nowadays. Lucy said as she read up on him. You think he needs us to take it down? Kara asked, letting out a laugh. I'm saying you need him. I mean, if you can't handle it yourself, figures you'd think you could with your boyfriend. Lucy said, getting a glare from the girl of steel. I know I can take it. Kara said firmly. Prove it. Lucy said with a smirk. Fine, I'll fight it. Kara said, wanting to tear something apart. Did you not listen? They're egging you on, Naruto said to her. Fine, let's all crush it, Leslie said, popping her fingers. Of course you'd say that. Lucy said. Hey, appealing, I'm trying to keep them from frying you or zapping you, so zip it, okay? Naruto said simply. Introducing Project R.T. T.O. Moro said. You made a bot that controls air. Why not make one that can do fire, water, or earth? Or all? Naruto said as it had a tornado around its bottom half as it floated down. Don't give them ideas. Alex said to him as he couldn't help his inventor mind. You sure you don't want to back down now? Leslie said as she was sure they'd trash the robot. We'll call it when we've seen enough. Just try not to activate its self-preservation software, then we'd really be in trouble. T.O. Moro said. Supergirl, you know what to do. Livewire, time to bring the pain, Naruto said, running around RT. Red Tornado made a Category 2 tornado around itself. Oh please, Naruto thought as a Category 2 tornado moved at around 150 miles per hour, which was slow for Naruto. Kara charged in as Naruto broke the tornado and punched it, sending it dragging across the ground, and as it raised an arm, Leslie made a lightning WHP and wrapped it around the arm. Oh no, you don't. Leslie said, restraining it. Kara rushed in and began laying punch after punch to its face. As it tried to bring its other arm up, she used her freeze breath on it before punching it off. Then she kept going. It's experiencing system failure, pull the plug now. T.O. Moro said, not wanting to lose his lifelong work. Supergirl, that's enough, Naruto said as she was denting the robot. As soon as Kara stopped, the android looked up before flying off. She triggered the emergency self-preservation function. Exactly what I said not to do. T.O. Moro said to him. You wanted me to fight it. Kara said angrily. And because of your recklessness you have unleashed a dangerous and uncontrollable killing machine on National City. Lane said. Try and find it. Naruto said to them. I can't see it. Kara said as it got away too fast. Stealth capabilities make it invisible to everything. T.O. Moro said. Or maybe because there's lead in its alloy. Naruto asked them, I know you made that to fight our Kryptonian heroes so spill but, he said glaring at them. Not them specifically, Kryptonians in general. Lucy said. Where's it gonna go? Alex asked. Probably somewhere to hide as it repairs itself. T.O. Moro said to them. Few hours later. Feel better? Naruto asked Kara as she ate 5 orders of potstickers. Sometimes I hate that pink kryptonite, the way she talked to me just made me wanna ugh. Kara said angrily. Yeah, Lucy is attractive, and Lois, Naruto said to her with a teasing smirk. I hit on her when I got blasted, Kara said remembering making a lot of passes at Lois. Lucy's here, Naruto said gaining Kara's attention. Naruto Namikaze. Lucy said with a smile. Yes. Naruto said wondering if he should be worried. General Lane has requested to meet you immediately, Lucy said to him. Do you ever get tired of doing what Daddy tells you to do? Kara asked her, Lucy not even registering her and ignoring her. Do I have a choice? Naruto asked seeing some soldiers outside. It is strongly encouraged, Lucy said to him. Geez, soldier 24/7 much. Kara asked her still being ignored, I swear, she thought strangely getting more attracted to Lucy. 20 minutes later. Mr. Namikaze, a pleasure, please take a seat, Lane said to him. What do you want, Lane? Naruto asked him not wanting to be here any longer than he had to. I swear the military is filled with assholes, he thought thinking about Waller and Eiling. I would like to make a few government contracts with you, Lane said as he believed Naruto Namikaze was a capable scientist ever since his young age. No thanks, the only one I'm thinking of doing a contract with is the DEO. Naruto said to him, lying his mouth off, as the only reason he was assisting the DEO was to make sure aliens and Kara were treated right and better. Great, you're one of them. Lane said looking at Naruto in disgust. You mean like Lois, your daughter? Naruto said as he knew Lane didn't like Lois and Cal's relationship. Leave her out of this, Lane said angrily. Metahumans, aliens, robots, it really doesn't matter to me sometimes. I just love surrounding myself with extraordinary things and people. Naruto said, wanting to PSS the man off. Get out of my office, Lane said to him. I'm glad, because I can't stand to be in the room with a man who hates his own daughter for loving someone who is different. Naruto said, walking out. Hey, Lucy said, waving at Naruto. Hey Lucy, long time, Naruto said, knowing she was being professional earlier. You are still a MSTR of pretending to be a stiff like him, he said, still impressed by her acting. Yeah, thanks, fast feet. Lucy said with a smile, knowing he was Godspeed. Supergirl wants a piece of you, just so you know, Naruto said to her. Oh, I'm sure after that pink kryptonite incident you told me about. Lucy said as Naruto told her about that, you can tell her to wait cause I'm sure you want a piece first, she said teasingly. Always. Naruto said with a smirk. Then what's stopping you? Lucy asked him with a lustful grin. Naruto and Lucy quickly ran outside and went to an empty alley, and Naruto super sped them out of there. Kara and Alex's apartment. Oh good, he brought you, Kara said with a grin seeing Lucy. Lucy surprised Kara when she jumped at her, pulling her into a kiss as they landed on the bed. Wow, and I thought she could get crazy during section. Naruto said, watching them go at it. STRP, Kara said to Lucy, making her take off all her clothing, liking what she saw looking at Lucy's D-cup melons, athletic body, and small bubbly peach. Lucy then tore Kara out of her clothes before pulling her close and taking one of Kara's tips into her mouth as she groped the other. Ah, I thought Alex had magic fingers. Kara said, screaming in pleasure. Trust me Kara, this lane is very good in the sack, Naruto said as he strppd down. Kara fell onto her back on the bed as Lucy went low and began eating her out as she reached up to keep grpng Kara's melons. I swear, Naruto said as he approached them. I haven't had this PP in so long, I'm going first. Lucy said as she shook her peach at him, going back to eating out Kara's PP. Kara, I know you try to be dominative but sometimes you're too easy. Naruto said as he was enjoying the look on the female Kryptonian's face. Lucy screamed in bliss as Naruto shoved himself into her PP. I swear you remain so freaking tight, Naruto said, spanking her peach with each thrust. I always do, just so you can stretch me out again. Lucy said as she pushed herself back against his thrusts, wanting his PP to reach deeper inside her. I love watching this peach ripple. Naruto said as he spanked her peach even harder. Kara loudly as she climaxed all over Lucy's face. I swear Naruto, you trained this little bee right, she said, still very impressed by her skills. A little, but most of that is all natural skill. Naruto said with a smirk as he could hear Lucy's loud F me harder, F me baby. Destroy my holes like only you can. Lucy said in joy, wanting Naruto to stretch out her holes again. Naruto leaned against Lucy's back as he turned her head to pull her into a kiss as he thrusted even harder. Lucy made a muffled scream of bliss as she felt Naruto enter her WMB. How is it, Lucy, having him destroy your insides? Kara asked her, licking Lucy's face, tasting her own juices. Better than how it felt years ago. He's gotten so much bigger. Lucy said in bliss. Gotta love that particle accelerator. Kara said with a smirk, loving how much bigger Naruto was. Lucy screamed, feeling Naruto leak inside her. Thank God I took BRTHCNTRL, she thought as she was sure she would have gotten PRGN. After Naruto was finished emptying himself into her WMB, he immediately shoved himself into her peach, causing her to scream in absolute pleasure-filled bliss. I swear he never stops, Lucy thought, as Naruto was a stamina freak before he seemed much more stronger in stamina. Naruto then began to completely destroy her peach with his thrusting, making her mind begin to feel like mush. I swear, no wonder we're all SEC addicts, Kara thought as she smiled at look on Lucy's face. Naruto smirked as he began to vibrate, furthering Lucy's pleasure even more than before. She fainted from pleasured bliss just as he filled her lower with his juices. Yay, you gave me a snack. Kara said as she began eating out Lucy's holes, intending on eating all of Naruto's juice out of them, and as she did so Lucy even in her unconscious state. As Kara ate Lucy out, Naruto shoved himself into her peach and began pounding her peach without mercy. Yeah baby, stuff me up with juice, Kara said beggingly. I swear we're all just receptacles for your juices, she said in pure bliss. Naruto was a blur of motion as he continued to destroy her peach with as much roughness as he could dish out. You're breaking me, Kara said before screaming out, feeling him SWCH between her two holes. Because I know you can take it. Naruto said with a grin. DMN right, Kara said in between Naruto gave a particularly hard move, making Kara feel like the whole bed moved from the force. I'm losing my mind. Kara thought as Naruto was incredibly forceful, it was insane. Kara saw stars as Naruto began emptying himself inside of her lower, making her feel the warmth of his juices inside of her, the bliss bringing her to the point of fainting. Few days later. Well, he's gone. Naruto said as T.O. Moro was messed up in a whole bunch of ways. Say what you want, but I was a bit impressed by that android of his. Kara said as she stared at the frozen android and saw its fingers were twitching. Ugh, Naruto, I thought you said this thing wasn't online, she said, stepping back in case of an explosion. Electricity shot out of android, showing it was Leslie, who began laughing. Got you. Not funny. Kara said, glaring at Livewire. Ugh, why are the fingers still moving? Naruto asked Leslie, wondering if it was her doing. That was me, I'm out of it. That thing shouldn't be doing SHT. Leslie said, backing away. How is it still on? Those freeze grenades I used go to Snart's cold gun's range of cold. Naruto said as he thought that'd be enough to stop the machine. Is it being controlled? Alex asked as she pointed a gun at it. Check and see if this thing is receiving any signals. Naruto said to Leslie. And how am I supposed to do that? Leslie asked him. You made it F move earlier, you can't check its systems. Kara said. I'll give it a shot. Leslie said, jumping back into it with a shrug, and soon came out. No piece clean, she said, finding nothing wrong with. Then how is it moving? Kara asked curiously. They were all on alert as the robot activated. Greetings, I am Red Tornado, the robot said to them. What's going on? Alex asked, very lost. I think he's become sentient. Naruto said, knowing from experience with Minma and Gideon. Suddenly a beeping was heard before Naruto went to a computer. Great, the files I got from Moro's computer got done. Holy SHT. He said, seeing the blueprints for 3 androids. Check this, Red Inferno, Red Torpedo and Red Volcano, he said, reading their designations. First this air guy, now ones with fire, water and earth. Way to go. Alex hitting Naruto on the head. Ow, and he made these months before, Naruto said as he rubbed the back of his head. Yes, my brothers and sister are in storage at a warehouse that belonged to Moro. Red Tornado said. How do you know that? Kara asked him curiously. I was connected to his mainframe as well as he himself before Ms. Danvers ended his life, Red Tornado said. And, how do you feel about that? Naruto asked him curiously. Moro was endangering her life and that of Kara's as he was controlling me. She was within her rights to defend herself. Red Tornado said to them. Okay, he's learning, Naruto said, wondering what to do with him. Me and my siblings are equipped with next-gen processors. We were made to evolve over time. Red Tornado said. Well, from the looks of it, you're sounding a bit human there. Leslie said as he sounded like he had emotions and could feel. Observation, do you recall the tale of Pinocchio? Red Tornado asked. Hey, you think you could do some tinkering with him and his siblings? I don't know, make them good guys? Kara asked Naruto. I'll have Minma come over and do his thing, Naruto said to her. Thanks, Kara said to him. Well, I'll be on my way, Naruto said as he ran home. Later at Jitters. One Godspeed please. Naruto said to the barista. Our best seller, the woman said to him with a smile. You're new. Naruto said as he never saw her before, but to be fair he hadn't been here a lot during the day. Yeah. I've been here a few months. Name's Kendra, Kendra said, introducing herself to him, and your Naruto Namake's the guy who is also dating my boss, Kendra said as she saw him in a few passing glances. She has a curvy but athletic body, low E-cup melons and round supple peach. Yep, jealous? Naruto said with a chuckle. Maybe. Kendra said with a light chuckle. Can you blame me? She asked him, checking him out. Can't say I can. After all, I am amazing. Naruto said with a laugh. Can I buy you a coffee? He said as they both shared a laugh. As good as this coffee is, you kinda get sick of it, Kendra said as she got a discount on all the items. True, but I know a guy who drinks it like fruit punch. Naruto said as both Harry and Cisco were drinking this like insanely. I feel bad for them already. Kendra said with a laugh as anyone who drank this was in for a long day. So, my Godspeed? Naruto said, wanting his coffee. Here you go. Kendra said while also putting a sticky note on it. When he looked he saw it was her number. Do with that what you will, she said with a grin. Naruto smiled seeing the kiss on the paper. Few days later. How's this one? Naruto asked Harry as he looked at the corpse of the time remnant they kidnapped. Well, using this handy device you made I was able to siphon out the speed force that remained in his system. Harry said, holding a glowing blue and yellow jar of lightning. So you found a way to drain him? Naruto asked him. Sadly no, not while he's still alive anyway, considering there was more of the speed force in him when he was alive. Harry said as he was able to steal most of it, but due to his instability he wasn't able to get it all. Keep trying, we'll find a way to take his speed. Naruto said, giving him back the vial. Am I still supposed to work with Zoom when he himself comes trying to bribe me with my daughter? Harry asked him, as he truly believed Naruto could finally put an end to Zoom. Yes, we have to keep up the illusion that we know nothing. He will come trying to get our speed some way. When he does, we will place the device on him, when we make it. Naruto said, as he had this already planned out, knowing Zoom was going to act like how he planned it. You really expect Zoom to let me touch him? Harry asked him sarcastically. Yes, at least in some way. If you don't want to go the contact route, we can always find another way of deploying the device onto him. Naruto said, as they had Jay's suit so they could put it on that to siphon away small amounts of his speed. And if he has extra suits? Harry asked him curiously. Well, here's how I see it. I planned for if you all go back home, he follows and he will kill his time remnant, perhaps we find a transferable way from it to him. Naruto said, suggesting something. That'd take too long to me. Harry said, as making such a device would possibly take much longer than they actually had. We'll find a way, I know we can. Naruto said, reassuring him. What do you want me to do with the lightning jar? Harry asked him curiously. Hold on to it, okay, Naruto said, as it could be a little useful. I know it can be useful, but basically it's a night light right now. Harry said, as he knew what Naruto was thinking, but he hated letting things sit and not being able to put things to their fullest use. Alright, you can put it away. Naruto said, as the lightning going around was kinda annoying and cool at the same time. Harry picked the jar up as Naruto went to put some materials away. Freeze. Put your hands in the air, Patty said, seeing Harry, and when he turned around she acted instinctively, firing her gun as she thought he had a weapon, making him drop the jar as he fell. Patty, what the hell? Naruto said, as the lightning from the jar was erratically moving around the room and then hit Patty, he thought as he went to Harry and removed the bullet, then went to Patty, he thought, looking her over as blue and yellow lightning danced around her body. That hurt, oh my god. She's been exposed to Zoom's speed force. Harry said, as he was glad she didn't hit any arteries and internal organs. What's that mean for her? Naruto asked as she was unconscious. Her body is basically going into hyperdrive now with the speed force flooding her system. We need something positive to counteract it, or her heart will beat faster and faster until it explodes. Harry said, not sugar-coating it at all. My speed is positive enough. Naruto said to him, making him go get a two-way syringe and injected it into him. Then Patty, as Naruto's BLD flowed into her and the lightning around her died and momentarily became white before disappearing. She's fine, Harry said, glad this was fast. Now fix me up, he said, as Naruto was the only one capable to fix his body. Alright, Kate has some painkillers. Naruto said, getting the DRGs and stitches before Harry bled out. Don't worry about Patty. She shouldn't become a speedster because of this, at least I don't think, Harry said, as there was no binding agent and the speed was in her was unstable. Thank God we have Zoom harassing me and Barry enough, Naruto said to him. Oh yeah, especially with the V10, Harry said, as Caitlyn perfected the DRG. V10? Naruto asked him. Velocity 10, with some research from your notes, I owned your parents' V9 but decided to not use out of safety precautions. I don't know if it would tear down your cells like the original, and I wasn't going to see if it did. Harry said, as he needed more tests to show with 100% certainty that the DRG was safe to use. Keep that just in case, I may have a plan for that stuff if the cards are played right. Naruto said to him, as the Velocity DRG gave him an idea. So what do we do with her? Harry asked him. She can be trusted, don't worry. Naruto said, as he was glad she was unconscious. I've been meaning to ask. If the path to finding a way to slow down Zoom and take his speed gets dark, should I do it? Even if it is to save my daughter, if she were to find out, I don't think I could stand to see how she could look at me, Harry said, knowing how his daughter was and how she thought of him as her hero, and to know he did unspeakable things like what he did to Hunter's remnant, which disappeared after death. I'm not a father, but speaking from how much my parents love me, they'd do anything and everything to make sure I was safe. Naruto said as he knew from this life and his last his parents would lay down their lives for him no matter what. Once when Jessie was 4, and I took her to the planetarium. It was crowded and she held my hand for dear life, or maybe it was the other way around. I lost her in the Mars exhibit. I panicked and I had every security guard looking for her. I could feel the fear rise in the back of my throat, and something else rose with it. Harry said remembering the time after his wife passed and knew he was a bit overprotective but he couldn't stand the thought of losing his daughter. What was it? Naruto asked him. This, dark instinct inside of me. About what I would do to the person who had taken her, the things I would have done, were unspeakable. It was in that moment I realized for certain I'd do anything to get her back, Harrison said as he sometimes felt guilty about it and was sad when he often didn't care as long as his daughter was safe. All fathers feel that. Once I was 3 my parents took me to the zoo. I loved it, always seeing the animals being so much bigger than me. I accidentally let go of my parents' hands, and the crowd bumped me so much, I couldn't find them. 1 hour later they came. Running up to me and even then I had key things of observation. I could tell that they had that same feeling you did at that moment. Naruto said as he remembered those small moments that really stuck with people, so don't feel guilty about trying to protect your daughter, just try and be the person she knows you are and hold on to that, he said to him. And if doing so means going down that dark instinct? Harry asked him. I'll be there for you, we all will. Naruto said to him, that's the reason why people have friends to rely on them and for you to rely on them, he said with a smirk. I haven't had a friend in years, Harry said simply. Well you got me, and Cisco who thinks you're a PP, Naruto said as they both shared a laugh. He's not wrong. Ever since this Zoom incident, I've changed from how I used to be. Harry said as he was a much bigger but then before this all started. Change is good, sometimes. Naruto said as change was inevitable. When we get Jessie, and she likes you, I may consider letting you date her. Harry said as Naruto was as smart as a person he'd like to date Jessie, but if not Cisco, he said to him as Cisco was okay, he was just, himself. Oh yeah, definitely. Naruto said as the two shared another laugh. Correct me if I'm wrong but don't you have a date with a barista tomorrow? Harry said to him. I do. Naruto said as he really needed a date book at this point. You hurt my girl you realize I'll kill you right, Harry said neutrally hoping he understood that. Stein gave me that threat a long time ago buddy. I need a date book. Naruto said as he wondered what the youngest Stein was up to. Speaking of Stein, how's his daughter like? Harry asked always interested in fellow scientists. Very much like him, just a little less uptight. Naruto said as she took after her father in a lot of ways. Perhaps her and Jessie would make good friends, Henry said to him. Yeah they might, speaking of Lily, I should probably check up on her before long. Naruto said as he heard she had a new partner Valentina Vostok. Is it true that Stein actually made this firestorm matrix himself? It really is fascinating, Harry said as he got bored here as he was confined to the building after learning his face was the face of a murderer on this earth. Yeah and by the way thanks for the heads up about Ronnie being bad over there. And seriously Deathstorm, that seriously does not sound scary at all. Naruto said as Deathstorm just sounded like someone trying to sound intimidating. Yeah sorry, Harry said knowing he might have caused some anger and tension after revealing that. If we left and encountered him without knowing, he'd probably kill us. We need to know what we will encounter before we go. And how are you? After I dash, Harry was saying. Told me there was a Naruto Namikaze over there and he is dead. I was a little affected by that but I let it go. Naruto said as it wasn't his life, but wondered what his mirror image was like. He was pretty much exactly like you, had his own HRM and everything. Though I lost track of how many girls he had. Harry said as he didn't care at the time but meeting this Naruto made him consider how he would have been if he met her. Does that mean if I go there, they're my girls? Naruto asked him. Probably. Harry said to him, not knowing the full mechanics of multiverse theory involving rules with each other's doppelgangers. Okay, take the painkillers, they have some things in them to help you sleep, don't move until morning and I will check on you both tomorrow. Naruto said as the stitch job was a literal second. Next day. I can't believe this is your idea of a first date, Naruto said, wrapping bandages over his arms and fists. Why afraid to get your butt kicked? Kendra asked him with a smirk as they were in an old-school boxing ring. No, you. I am a multi-degree black belt in, what things besides martial arts? Anyways, I know how to fight well. I don't want to hurt you. Naruto said as he didn't want to hurt her too badly. I was confident until you said that. Kendra said as she liked to fight as it was a hobby of her, as she always seemed to lack the flight in the flight or fight response. Sorry, babe. You don't have to do this, and I am not talking to you as a woman, I am talking to you as someone who has a lot of experience in hand-to-hand combat, taught to me by my mother and others. Naruto said as Nissa could contest to that. Thank you for that, and remind me to never make your mom mad. Kendra said as if Naruto's mother was anywhere near Naruto's level. She was toast. Wanna go to a steakhouse, they give you what you pay for, she said as rich fancy places were never her style and she preferred to get the amount of food she paid for. Sure, better that than messing up that pretty body of yours. Naruto said, receiving a small light-hearted slap on the chest. Let's go on a couple of more dates before we talk about messing up anything with our bodies. Kendra said, giving him a wink. 1 hour later. Naruto and Kendra were currently pigging out on steak, fries, and shakes. So how much of Central City have you seen? Naruto asked her as he knew she moved when the event happened. Lots. I've been dying to go to some places like the movies, but it always felt weird going alone. Kendra said as she always felt it was better to go with company. I could go with you. Naruto said with a smile, but I'm not paying for snacks. What they charge is criminal, he said as he was paying $5 for DMN water. Considering from what I hear you would take giant bags, and I mean big bags of popcorn. Kendra said. I have a very high metabolism, so I have to eat so much just to be able to get anything from them. Naruto said as she looked at him plainly. Seriously, Kendra said, a little jealous of that. Yep, Naruto said with a grin. Lucky, sometimes I swear I eat the wrong thing and, pow, I'm gonna end up fat. Kendra said with a laugh. Depends on where the fat goes. Naruto said. It goes to all the right places, Kendra said, knowing what he was insinuating. Yeah, I'll say. Naruto said as the two shared a laugh. So where should we go? The movies or go sightseeing? Kendra asked as it had been a while since she had so much fun. Movies, my friend Cisco won't shut up until I watch The Princess Bride, and if it sucks someone else is going to be put through that torture with me. Naruto said as they laughed. Cisco, sorta long hair, drinks coffee a lot, right? To be honest, he's a bit on the weird side to me, Kendra said as Cisco seemed nice, just somewhat awkward. Oh, trust me, he's on the weird side with a lot of women. Naruto said as Cisco needed more confidence and to stop trying so hard with women and just be himself. Well, let's go. Kendra said as she finished her food. Yeah, the sooner I see it, the sooner Cisco will leave me alone. Naruto said as Cisco was a movie addict. 3 hours later. Worst movie of all time, Kendra said simply. Agreed, Naruto said as that was a waste of money. Top-rated nothing, I wish we could get our money back. Kendra said as she felt cheated. So what next? Naruto asked, wondering what she wanted to do. Well, I heard there's this place that gives a breathtaking view of the city. Kendra said as she just loved the sights of places. Hey, this is about you, you go and I'll follow. Naruto said. Alright, come on. Kendra said as they walked. 1 hour later. When you said breathtaking view, I thought it'd be a bit closer to the ground. Naruto said as they were pretty high up. I just love the fresh air and how open and free it is up here, Kendra said happily. At peace. I know people that can fly and that's usually what they always say when they describe how it feels to fly. Naruto said. Wish I could fly, I'd probably never want to come back down. Kendra said as a hawk landed on the railing near them, getting closer to them than most birds would like. Hey there. Naruto said, giving the hawk a gentle petting scratch on its chin. They're appealing, aren't they? Hawks, I mean. Kendra said as she liked to bird watch in her free time, finding birds rather magnificent. I know, I have some in my bird wing inside my lab at STR. They're very appealing. The female injured her wing and her mate refused to leave her side. He was stealing food for weeks until I found them. Naruto said, remembering those two were messing around in the city a long time ago. Most people would have just shot them. Kendra said a tad angrily as she hated that they would choose to put something out of its so-called misery rather than helping it. Yeah, well, I'm not most people, everything deserves a chance at life. Animals included. Naruto said as it was one of the reasons he had animals in his lab. One of my favorite hobbies was bird watching. I'd go into the woods and just look, not caring what I'd see, just to look. Kendra said as most people thought it was a sucky hobby. Take it from a guy who has a zoo, I get you, Naruto said as all the animals he had were appealing in their own right. You're a gentleman, you know how to really make a woman feel special, and you love animals. Just when I thought this date couldn't get better. Kendra said with a happy smile. I always try to be the very best, Naruto said as he wanted to treat all his girls special. You must be if you have so many girls and yet continue to get more. Kendra said with a smile. I have a big heart, they say it's my best quality. Naruto said with his signature grin. Hopefully not the only one, Kendra said as she pulled him into a long passionate kiss. I have a lot of women, what do you think? Naruto said with a chuckle. I think that I am going to be one happy girl someday. Kendra said before pulling him into another kiss. Few days later. Cisco, I am not going to waste my time looking for your white whale again. Naruto said as Cisco was persisting on a meta that was seen on one video, and dude, seriously, I have a bit of a headache, you may wanna stop, he said as he had been having slight headaches. The turtle exists, man, come on, Cisco said to him. When the others heard Cisco talk about the turtle they all groaned. Not him again, man. Barry said as he heard enough about that guy the first time. Okay, Snippy. Cisco said in retaliation. Sorry, it's just dealing with the weather wizard, trickster duo yesterday left me with a migraine. Barry said as he was a little tired after being struck with lightning repeatedly. Sorry I wasn't there. Naruto said to him. It's okay, the others helped out and I found out that Patty has a mean right hook. Barry said as he saw Patty knock out Martin with one punch. Besides, it was Christmas, of course you'd want to be with your family. Caitlin said as she knew his dad was in town. How are things with your Dr. Mother and Blizzard? Dr. Blizzard. Naruto said looking at Caitlin. Caitlin and Frost said as the name didn't really feel like much. I actually kinda like that. Cisco said as they all just gave him plain looks. Hello, I just found something peculiar in the notes I got out of the first Solomon. As Cisco was going on forever about this turtle, something in there sounding familiar, it sounded like this man has a connection with the Still Force. Harry said. Don't help him, Harry, he'll never shut up about it. Naruto said. Ha, I finally got footage of him, check it. Cisco said as he opened up a newspaper about flint guns being lost. I actually think this can help me with some research, Ramon, let's go, Harry said walking off. Wait, here's the footage, see how the guy is slowing everything down and yet not the time. Cisco said pointing at the time on the footage showing it was still going normally. Yes, as the still force is about the halting of motion, inertia, but cannot slow time. Naruto said as he read those papers as well, just in case his supposed connection to these other forces were true, maybe this is worth looking into, he thought as he got another headache. Yes, because maybe if we figure out how this guy's powers work we can make something or show Zoom life in the slow lane. Cisco said as this could be the key to figuring out how to beat Zoom. Come on. Harry said, coming back and pulling Cisco with him. Where you off to? Jay said as he came in. Oh, we have this metahuman who seems to be messing with people around him, Naruto said as he hated this time remnant BS. How so? Jay asked curiously. He seems to be able to slow everything down around him. Barry said as he hated going along with having this time remnant around. Interesting. Any way I can help? Jay asked curiously. He seems to be creating a field around him, making everything inside it move at a much slower speed than it should be, Naruto said to him. Sounds like he could be absorbing all the kinetic energy around him. Jay said. We haven't confronted the guy yet, but his motif seems to be stealing the things that are most precious to people. Barry said. So you'll have to wait until bait comes. Jay said to him. Which might be tonight, Iris said, walking into the lab. What does it take to keep you out? Naruto seriously asked her. Seriously, I don't get your problem, Iris said, giving him a look. Got time? We made a list. Hartley said as he walked in. You interrupt us as we work. Jocelyn said as he liked her piece, and Iris disrupted that. You can't let us work on things as we have to stop to save you from some report trip going wrong. Barry said, surprising everyone. What? He said, seeing everyone look at him. You grew a set. Carrie said as she sharpened her arrows. Seriously, she walks all over you, she said to him. Not anymore, for the past 2 weeks I have saved you from thugs, DRG traffickers, and the occasional mobster. Seriously, Iris, can you not leave the hero work to the actual heroes? That felt so good to get off my chest. Barry said as he was willing to do it, but Iris kept throwing herself to the fire. Way to go, Barry. Naruto said. Yes, for once you've kept your masculinity, Nissa said as she sharpened her knives. Okay, if you are all done chewing me out. I got a report for you that could help. Iris said. Oh honey, that wasn't chewing, if only you saw that list. Linda said as they did it as a group activity to relieve stress and find a way to keep her out. There's going to be a press conference at CCPD, because the Vandervoort diamonds have just been recovered. Iris said, showing the report. From hell's heart, I stab at thee. Cisco said. Don't ever say that again, dude. Naruto said as that was poor taste. Okay, so what? Is this going to be a test to see what he can do? What's wrong? Barry asked Naruto. I've been having a headache all day. And if we can't get him, then we can at least see how his powers work. Naruto said as he had a strange feeling. Few hours later. Can't believe this guy is a threat, Naruto thought to himself. As soon as the owner spoke of his great-grandfather's ring being the priceless thing to himself, the turtle showed up. Okay, go. Naruto said to everyone. Just as everyone made a move, waves of energy were sent out of Turtle, slowing everyone down, but an orange energy wave came out of Naruto as he disappeared. What the hell? Barry said in a slow tone. Do you have to move so much? You need to relax, a familiar voice said to Naruto. Naruto looked up and saw Shikamaru. Before you ask, no, I'm not him, Shikamaru said to him. I wasn't going to ask that, so this is the Still Force? Naruto asked, thinking it was the same deal as the Speed Force. Yep, be glad it's me and not our usual avatar, Steadfast. Shikamaru said. So what test do you have for me to go back home? Or does it not work like in the Speed Force? Naruto asked as the Speed Force had him catch himself before he got out of his coma. FYI, horrible name by the way, he said as Steadfast sucked as a name. No Sage Mode training did the job, but think of all that energy you have going outwardly. It never hurts to take your time, Naruto, Shikamaru said to him. I do, with my friends, family, my girls. I want to take in all the time I can get, because they won't be around forever. Naruto said as he always made time for those closest to him. Well, with as much speed force you put into their systems when you have your fun, it may be slowing down their aging, but what do I know, I'm the opposite of it. Shikamaru said, as even if a person moved at normal speed it could slow certain things down. What can I do with the powers of the still force? Naruto asked curiously. Don't try anything besides slowing things down. Shikamaru said seriously, this power can be used in a very deadly way, my friend, he said completely serious. How? Naruto asked, not wanting to use a certain way of this power and kill someone with it. I swear, Shikamaru said to him, in the blink of an eye I can make a moment seem like an eternity for someone or slow a person's time down. Learn, practice, figure it out, he said simply. Okay, thanks. See you around. Naruto said as he began to vanish. At least that one is interesting compared to our others. Shikamaru said as all their users have been messed up in some way, hope he does well with the others. Back with the others in STR labs. Whoa, okay, coming out of that and the speed force are two completely different feelings. Naruto said a little disoriented. How'd I get here? He asked very curiously. When Turtle left you were covered in a bubble of orange energy, like you were frozen in time. I didn't know what to do so I brought you here. Barry said to him. I was inside of the still force, as it turns out Turtle's still wave or whatever you call it gave the energy of the still force in my system a boost to awaken. Naruto said as he emphasized his point by making a wave of orange energy. That is cool. Now are we to assume you are immune to Turtle now? Barry asked curiously. I don't know if I can mix the two forces when in use yet, dude. Naruto said as it might cancel each other's out or make them move at some mixed speed. Well, we found out that it sucks up all the kinetic energy, leaving everything in a state of potential energy. Barry said as they ran an analysis to see how Turtle's wave affected everything. And because of our speed it didn't really do much to us. Naruto said as their bodies could store more kinetic energy, letting them at least move in the waves. But now with your new power you have an edge, Barry said to him. Yeah, but try to learn to move in this wave, Barry. We aren't bound by logic always, Naruto said as rules were meant to be broken. Well, we have time, there's a thing at the museum tonight, suit kinda thing for a painting. We think he'll make a go for it. What's wrong? Barry asked as Naruto got nervous when he mentioned the museum. I was planning on taking Patty to see that painting, Naruto said nervously as once he filled in Patty she was ecstatic about learning he was a Godspeed and learning the truth about him after keeping her in the dark. Oh no, I just had a thought. If he shows and you save Patty, he's going to think Patty's the most important thing to you. Barry said, getting serious. Making her a target, Barry, she is the most important thing to me, all my girls are, my friends, my family. If he were to hurt any of you, I don't know if I could restrain myself. Naruto said as he would hurt someone or probably kill them if they hurt anyone that he cared about. I don't know the limits of these new powers, I can't risk it, Barry. I'm counting on you, he said firmly, having true belief in his friend. Then let's train. Barry said, we need to figure out how I can move in this energy, he said as that was top priority in being able to take this guy down. Yeah, and by the way, Russell Glosson. What kind of name is that? Naruto said as he looked up the facial recognition if Turtle's face to know his real name. I know, right, Cisco said walking into the lab. Next night. You're having fun? Naruto asked her curiously as he informed her what might happen. A little, yeah, but can you blame me? I finally get to spend some time with you. Patty said, squealing in excitement. I wouldn't say finally, you know I make time for you. Naruto said as he made time for all of his girls. In both of your lives, as you and as Godspeed. Patty said to him challengingly. Point taken, but come on, I can't just up and tell someone, Naruto said to her, which she conceded to. I know I'll be okay, so don't worry about this tortoise guy. Patty said as she wasn't really paying much attention to him as she was too excited to join in. Turtle. Naruto said, correcting her. While we're talking, can you tell me what's going with you? The last time we slept together you woke up screaming. Patty said as for the 2 times they've slept together in the same bed in the past week he's been waking up drenched in sweat, not in the fun way, screaming. Nightmares, I saw Zoom killing you and the other girls right in front of me. Naruto said as he and Barry still weren't fast enough as Naruto made it 4,600 miles per hour and Barry just hit 4,000 miles per hour. They were still nowhere near Zoom's speed. Hey, from what you told me about how your powers work, maybe that's why you two aren't getting up to speed. Naruto, I am a cop, meaning I go into the field of danger, and every time I do I have this small thought in the back of my mind saying, is this the one that gets me? But then I'm reminded that I have you to be there for me, to save me. Maybe you've been letting this Zoom business get to you harder than you thought. Patty said smiling as she saw Naruto smile. She's right, Naruto thought, releasing some built-up tension. Now come on, we have a party to go to and a turtle to catch. Patty said with a grin, still excited. You've seen a dozen metas, why are you so giddy? Naruto asked her. Because I'm working with superheroes, Patty said in excitement. What have I unleashed? Naruto thought, knowing this would take days to die down. 25 minutes later. Wow. Naruto said, seeing Patty walk in wearing a dress. Bought it just for this. Patty said with a smile. Everyone in position? Naruto asked over the comms as he had a backup set in place. These heels are tight on my feet. Frost said as Naruto forced her to come and try to see the art on display as she was like a critic of something she didn't understand and Naruto caught her on it. Yeah, seriously, did you measure these things? Caitlin asked as they really were tight. That's my bad, I was a bit rushed with things and may have mixed up the heels for you all. Cisco said as he had to alter the fabric of her dress and shoes to withstand her cold temperature. That would explain a few things. Linda said as her dress felt a tad on the too tight side in some places. Just everyone act casual, Barry, you in position? Naruto said. As Barry was a few miles away, thinking if he built up speed he would have better chances. Yeah, I'm in place. See our turtle yet? Barry asked as he was relying on them to be his eyes. Nope, no sign of our hooded weirdo. Carrie said as Patty and her got along well and she monitored her after her accident. Naruto informed her about. Hooded dude coming in through the east entrance. Thea said, seeing Russell come in through the side. Alright, Barry, start running, it's only a matter of time before he uses his powers. Naruto said as Barry began running here and he was soon caught in Turtle's wave. Come on, he thought, focusing on his powers around him. You're just like me. Russell said to him as he felt their energies mix, making them the same speed. Oh god, he even sounds like a creep, Naruto thought, as the man had all the makings of a creep. What did you use your powers to keep? Russell asked him. What's that supposed to mean, weirdo? Naruto asked, confused. After I got my powers, my wife tried to leave me, the thing I loved the most, so I used my powers to make her stay with me forever. Russell said as he had a bony finger with a ring. Like it? I keep it as something to let myself keep thinking about her. You're insane. Naruto said as he could assume what happened with the rest of the woman. I have all of her, this is just something I carry around. Russell said, speaking fondly. You really are insane, Russell. Naruto said as he felt less guilty for the amount of butt kicking he would do to him. You know, I'm curious, I wonder if I can do what you're doing, who knows, I might be able to move faster than you and those speedsters, Russell said as he began forcing the energy to envelop him. Russell, don't, the still force has a set of rules, do this and you could kill yourself. Naruto said as those rules could be bent but forced was another thing entirely. I don't care. Russell said to him before looking at his hand as it began to wither. Naruto looked as Russell seemed to begin rapidly aging faster with each passing second. Russell let out one bone-chilling scream as he turned into a pile of dust. Tried to warn you. Naruto said as he collected the dust so it could be analyzed. Ew, yuck, he said, looking at the finger with the ring on it, not wanting to touch it. Few days later. Think Merlin or some assassin? Barry asked as they looked at the pictures of the bodies that were killed last night. No, this is too precise even for someone of Merlin's skill, this guy's an expert among experts, he's kinda like Black Arrow level. Naruto said as whoever this was seemed to be very skilled to be able to kill these people in such a way, and this flint knife looks really old, he said as the knife looked ancient and sent a few pics to Nissa to confirm their origin and style. It's the tip of a knife, how do you know it's from a flint knife? Julian asked him curiously. Because it has traces of flint in it, only flint knives can do this. But the problem is the age, like the age off of this is like antique level age. Naruto said as he knew his weapons and knives like these were rarely around. Impressive observation, mate, Julian said. Trust me, I could give Batman a run for his money. Naruto said with a chuckle, getting odd looks from the others wondering if he was being serious. Just let me have this, okay? Barry said as that was what he was going to say, but Naruto interrupted him. I can look around to see if anybody strange has come into town. Patty said as the docks had active cameras outside of the shipping yard. I can look more into this knife tip, see if that can help us. Julian said as he had some good research abilities due to his journeys. Okay, Barry, try to see if this guy bought this somewhere, if you all need me call me. Naruto said as he took off. Get to it, mate, Julian said to Barry as they got to work. Yeah. Barry said as he left, as he was beginning to like Julian less and less. Few hours later. Really, jitters for our date? Naruto asked Kendra as he waited by the register for her. Well, you said you wanted to try my cooking and this where I thought we could have it. Kendra said as she also liked the ingredients here. Well, we do have keys to it, well I have a key and Thea gave you one. Naruto said. Well, you do sorta own it with her, right? Kendra said as she wasn't sure on the details of who owned it. We both own it, but she manages it. Naruto said as Thea wouldn't take no when he offered the place to her. Well, I will see you here for dinner, be prepared as I love to cook. Kendra said with a laugh as it was another hobby she had and another reason why she took this job, as she could make pastries and certain dishes. Alright, I'm kinda swamped trying to find some dagger-wielding psycho on the loose. Naruto said as he needs time to relax during all this. You'll get him, you always do. Kendra said as Naruto informed her he was Godspeed. Still can't get over I'm dating a hero, she said as she still thought it was cool. Well, get used to it. Naruto said with a laugh before seeing a blonde man walk in. Bloody hell, did you grow up? Constantine said walking in. Constantine, what are you doing here? Naruto asked curiously as Constantine doesn't usually show up unless things were bad. Well, the first is a favor for Mr. Queen, the second is about your mother, and also I heard about the Godspeed drink and wanted to see it for myself. Constantine said with a smirk as he had 2 drinks. One of those is a quick shot, Naruto said as basically only alcoholics drank that. Yeah, figured that out, kinda like it, but it could use a bit of something here and there. Constantine said as he enjoyed both drinks. What's Oliver want with you? Naruto asked curiously. Remember Laurel's sister? Well, apparently someone put her body in a Lazarus pit without knowing all the details. Constantine said a little mad as that's how he turned to the dark arts, because he didn't know what he was doing. So you mean to tell me she's soulless and on the rampage? Naruto asked, seeing this as something serious. Yep, she came here, for Thea. Constantine said as the Lazarus pit was basically more than a healing pool, it was a pool of evil inviting darkness into oneself. I'm sorry, who is this? Kendra asked as she's never seen this man before. John Constantine, love, expert on exorcisms, banishings, basically if it's dark I'm your guy to call. Constantine said in slight arrogance. So what's special about this pit? Kendra asked them. It is basically darkness incarnate and I'm going to kill whoever put Sarah into it, Nissa said coming out from the shadows. See, love, the pit is a way to extend life, it's said to bring back the dead and heal. However, the dead part is a bit trickier, see you come back but the soul isn't there, all the way. Constantine said as the soul was there, just not in the way one would expect it to be. Why is she going after Thea? Kendra asked Naruto. The usual thing, a being without a soul seeks out the person who killed them. Naruto said as the pit brought all this negativity, the also being affected with rage and usually sought out people who wronged them. That's where I come in, I'm here to retrieve her soul, we just need to find and catch her first. Constantine said to them. How does she know where Thea even is? Kendra asked them. Souls are a tricky thing, love doesn't help, they've both taken dips in that accursed water, Constantine said to them. Wait, Thea was in the pit? Naruto asked as that was news to him, as that seemed to be another timeline change from when he and Barry left. From what I was told, Constantine said as Roz apparently hit Starling earlier and attacked people Oliver cared for. It was before you confronted my father, he attacked Thea to force Oliver's hand, that's when you came up with the plan to confront him and give me control of the league. Nissa said as she still felt guilty about that as Thea was important to her. That would explain her temper lately. Naruto said as she might have been reacting to Sarah. It's a bloodlust, because of the pit she must take a life to continue living, however thanks to your mother we have been slowing it down. Katana returned to Japan for a special lotus to make a cure for her. Nissa said as there was a flower that grew in result of the Lazarus pit, its ability to undo the negative effects caused on one's body. And I'm assuming once we fix Sarah she's going to need it? Naruto asked her. Yes, which is why Katana is going to bring enough of the flower for both. Nissa said as she had Katana make sure to bring back more than for one dose. Might be a good idea to grow it just in case, Naruto said as the Lazarus pit was one of many. He's got a point there, love, better safe than sorry. Constantine said as he liked to come prepared and have things ready in advance. Where is Thea now? Naruto asked. Going to Star City to see her brother. Nissa said. Okay if I take off. Naruto asked Kendra. Go, Kendra said as she then saw she ate his plate of food and left a note that said, it was perfect. Sometimes I wonder if I should pick up tips from that one, Constantine said as he made another Godspeed and quick shot drinks. Nissa rolled her eyes before leaving. Care to give me a lift, mate? Constantine asked Naruto, who came running back inside and grabbed him. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 9. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author pyrohelixdrago on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video, till then goodbye.